Hi, so I've got an iPad mini here that won't charge. This video is sort of in continuation of a video I recorded earlier. I've been trying to fix this iPad mini for a while now. The problem with this is it came in because it wouldn't charge, but the iPad booted on properly. The dock connector felt a little loose, so here, let me show you on the webcam. So I've put a new dock connector. I've soldered it already. I've also changed its Tristar chip, which is this guy right there, and that didn't change its symptoms. It's still the same. So now I did some research, and the problem is with its power management chip, and I've verified it by measuring voltages on the motherboard as well. So I'm going to give you a brief walkthrough on how I diagnosed it to be the PMIC, and then we will go ahead and replace that chip. So the problem with so now as soon as I plug the let me switch over to the microscope, and now if you see, as soon as I plug the battery connector in without prompting the device to boot, I get 5 volts on DC in. Oh, my multimeter is off. Let me switch it on. So now if you look, I'm getting 3.3 volts on DC in. Oh, there we go. So now if I measure voltage there, I get 3.3 volts. Now without without a USB charger plugged in, there should be no voltage on there, and as you can see, I have nothing plugged into the iPad. Also, if we measure voltage at this MOSFET, I get the same 3.3 volts there as well. And this line, PPV bus protect, this is the power in line or the enable voltage for the Tristar chip, and I'm getting voltage there as well. Now this MOSFET shouldn't turn on, and it shouldn't pass power unless the PMIC tells it to. So on a known working machine, there is no voltage on either end of this MOSFET. So that tells me that the problem is with our PMIC. So now I'm going to take the PMIC off of this and replace it with another one. Okay, so now let me grab my preheater. Oh, gotta switch on my preheater. Alright, so I have the iPad mini in the preheater. That's a good orientation for it. Perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna start with, we'll let the iPad warm up. Once it warms up, We'll start by removing the PMIC and replacing it. Okay, so the iPad, the iPad should be warm enough now. So the next step is to we'll put some flux on the board, then we'll remove that coil, and then we'll go in from there. Haha. Chip was underfilled, but sneaky. The underfill is just under the chip and nowhere else. Yeah, that is very sneaky of Apple, but we got it off. Awesome. Now we're gonna put some flux on the board, and then we'll tin those pads, and then we'll tin those pads with leaded solder, and then we'll remove the underfill, and then put the new chip on.
No, I don't want to play. Playing horrible. No, it's not.
No. God damn it, man. Now, I'm gonna have to try to clean those bridged pads. Those bridged capacitors. Oh, thank God. Thank goodness. So now, let's just make sure they aren't bridged. That one has a teeny tiny bridge. So we'll give it a quick blast of heat, and that solder will get sucked back up into its pad. There we go. I'm sorry, buddy. Hey, buddy. Good buddy, Luke. Hang on, I'll give you a treat, buddy. I'm sorry, my friend. Okay, so that wasn't so difficult. The board is clean. Alright, so I've removed all the underfill from under the chip, and I've cleaned the pads and I've braided them. I'm just going to put some leaded solder on that coil so that I can put it back on once I find where it went. You have got to be fucking kidding me. How could I lose that coil? God damn me. You can... Yeah. Yeah. Should have made sure it was on. Yeah. Hmm? I mean, it was on based on the current draw. It's fine. You don't need to check again. I am a maroon. I am a maroon. Okay, we'll have to take the coil from this donor. So, I forgot the orientation of that coil. I don't know if if the dot faces the PMIC or if it's away from the PMIC. So, I'm gonna quickly check to make sure. Alright, so I just did a quick Google image search for the mini PMIC, and the coil, the dot on the coil is facing the PMIC. Perfect. Okay, so let us tin those pads with some leaded solder. Hang on, buddy. Hang on, Luke. Looking for the desoldering braid. Buddy. Here, buddy. There you go, buddy. Now. Sorry about that. I have a shop dog here, and I just wanted to make sure the poor guy was able to move about. Also, oh, okay. So now let's get that coil. Also, let's take a look at the orientation of the chip. So chip goes in top left. I mean, A1 pad is top left. And then coil goes on the inside. So we flip this guy over. Then we'll blast it with hot air quickly. Perfect. So the coil is on. Now we just have to put the PMIC and we'll be good to go. Alright, so that's my chip. I think that's good. Now, alright, so we have just successfully replaced, well, we don't know if we've successfully replaced it, but we've just replaced the PMIC on an iPad Mini 2. Now, the next step would be to test it. I was putting things away on my desk. Alright, so let's put the preheater aside. Now the fastest way to cool this down is to put it on something metallic with high thermal mass, so the frame or the body of the iPad is good enough. What I can also do while we're waiting is, I can't show you this because of how my camera is set up, but I can check the signatures for PMIC on my oscilloscope tracker. Chase, Luke is out front, eh? Okay. Huh? No, but he's not tied up. Like, is he tied up to your desk or is he, like, by the door? Oh no, just time up to your desk.
People will come in. Oh,
Hmm?
and take off.
Did you finish the work you were doing?
Some of it.
So you're giving up? What happened?
Nothing. I'm just haven't finished. I'm gonna go to the shop and grab all my soldering equipment and clean that up a bit because the lead free got into the little
Vias?
yeah. They're not supposed to have any solder on them, so
Oh.
it's like pretty sure they're ground plane, whereas these are high current power lines. Okay. I gotta go help Brock or something too. Anyways.
Okay. Well, I'm about to test this mini from yesterday. If you want to hang out for 1 second,
Yeah.
or find out right now. I mean, no, wait. Fuck. That's only if you
Yeah.
wanna find out.
It's
If you
okay.
don't care, then.
Definitely want to find out.
So actually, before I let it float around. Okay, so I'll switch over to the webcam. We'll plug that in because I don't want it to float, and then short stuff out. Alright, power button plugged in. Okay, so I have the iPad in the board. I'm gonna plug the battery line in, and then we'll see if we get voltage on the V-Bus Protect and DCN lines. So, oh, my multimeter is off. No voltage, excellent. Also, DCN, no voltage. V-Bus Protect, no voltage. Beautiful. I think this device is fixed. Let me go get the LCD and we'll test it. Alright, battery is plugged in. Now let me move the LCD out of the way. We have Apple logo. There you go. You can see it in the microscope, but I'll hold it up for you. And we have a 1.6 amp current draw. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm gonna wait until it finishes booting, but so far so good. Like, it's still drawing power. And once it finishes booting, we'll know. Come on, motherfucker. And it's on and still charging. Brilliant. Let's unplug the charger and plug it back in. Unplug, flip over, plug in, and immediate fast charge. Brilliant. Fixed it. Device has been fixed successfully. Awesome. Oh, and I suppose I should have proof that I fixed it. So I will put the ammeter over here, and then so you can see it's the same iPad and it is charging. Let me unplug that somehow. Alright, I unplugged the charger and I plugged it back in, and it is charging. So yeah, this was a super duper complicated repair, but in the end the problem was solved by replacing the PMIC. Very painful job.